They were a special group. Very special, Commander had repeated ad nauseum, and their connection was broad, deep, and timeless. Enrollees of the elusive Sprex School for Military Intelligence were always quiet and secretive. Always. The elite establishment, housed in a 1,000-year-old castle in the village of Sprex on the north shore of Lake Geneva in Switzerland, was 5 kilometers from the nearest habitation and well hidden from curious onlookers by a thick band of large oak trees. A tall electronic fence further deterred any unauthorized approach. Beyond the fence, a myriad of passive infrared sensors placed along the perimeter tracked any breach, the odds of which were slim. 2 African lion sculptures guarded the main gate, an indisputable sign of aristocracy. Sprex, the shortened name and the much cooler-sounding brand, was how the graduates referred to their school. They called each other Sprexy, and like a cautious gang, they were the only ones allowed to use that familiar term with each other. In a class of its own, the institution did not have to compete with West Point in the United States or Sandhurst in the United Kingdom. A class well above the rest, according to Commander. Their leader was simply known as Commander. Sprex possessed deeply entrenched historic connections within governments worldwide. As secretive as it was, Sprex was the tip of the iceberg. An organization deeper than the deepest of deep states, Sprex was the protector of the bottomless pit of righteousness. Their budget was in demand. Ask and you shall receive. The powers behind Sprex provided Sprex with whatever Sprex needed. No questions were ever asked. While some academies that provided similar training may have hosted mere commoners, at Sprex, the trainees, handpicked by an unseen board, originated from the world's top bloodlines, the crème de la crème. Belonging to one of those rare family trees, the ones that appeared on the Swiss school sanction list, simply granted a basic authorization to apply for consideration to join the program. Actual admission into Sprex was another story, a much more complex endeavor. Every year, 1,000 entrants applied for 50 places. They were allowed to take the rigorous online screening step, which consisted of a multi-part evaluation lasting 75 hours over 5 days. This first phase, Phase 1 of the program, comprised a series of endurance workouts, monitored via video, followed by thorough psychological checks and a battery of IQ exercises. The harsh initial bio-psycho-social screening process was designed to quickly eliminate the hopeless candidates. 100 trainees, 10% of the original group, waltzed into Phase 2. The remaining non-eligible 900, who had generated the lowest scores in the eval, were told to forget about the school and the experience. There was no option to reapply. The individuals destined for the subsequent Phase 2 screening were told to prepare for weeks of intensive training, starting with a 5-day outdoor boot camp in various climates at high elevations of between 7,000 and 12,000 feet. As was expected, this harsh stage quickly generated the needed results, and novices always dropped out like flies within a few hours. 30 contenders typically were rejected in the first week, hastily rushing home to the comfort of their mansions and the Italian leather upholstery of their Maseratis. Their noble relatives were deeply annoyed at the failure of their rejected offspring, for, by not being involved in Sprex, one was less plugged into the behind-the-scenes shenanigans of current events taking place everywhere on Earth. By week 4, Sprex had decisively separated the wheat from the chaff, and a group of 50 men and women was admitted to the academy. Except for the introduction of online testing, that well-practiced enrollment process had not changed 1 inch since 1948, the year Sprex was founded by the families. While the training began in earnest, the opening statement of the first lecture to the group of Sprexies read, "We see a future world without enough resources to go around, and therefore, we must learn first to decisively assert control over the array of current world reserves and subsequently share what is there as we deem most advantageous with those whom we choose. That is what power is for.